Hi there, Julie Gray here. Today I want to answer a question that I get asked often, which is, are you doing enough, or am I doing enough? So this is a really interesting question with a couple of layers. So let's just tease this out and you can take with it what is useful for you. The first thing that I want to call out is that when someone's coming to me with this question, I can pretty much guarantee that they have a really strong, really finely pointed antennae looking in all directions for everything they're not doing. They can see on their list, they can see in their notebooks, they can see on their computer, at their work, at their home, all the things they're not getting done. And this can create anxiety sometimes, and it can generate the question, am I doing enough? How do I do more? How do I know what enough is, right? So before I fully answer that question, let's just call out one other really key thing here. If their antennae or your antennae is really, really wired toward noticing all that you're not doing, it's a pretty fair bet that you are missing. It is invisible to you, all that you are doing. Your antennae is not wired that way, right? At least in this moment. And so we miss, it gets invisible, all the stuff, all the life moving forward things that are happening daily. We just miss it. And there's not really thinking about it, right? You're just in life, you're just doing it. Now, where there's thinking is all that stuff that you're not getting done. And part of that thinking is this question, very commonly, am I doing enough? And now here's the thing, on the face of it, that question looks useful. It looks practical. It looks like, oh yeah, here's a question that's going to focus me, or maybe motivate me, or a little anxiety, or maybe stress to move me forward. And this is where we get sucked in. It gets a little too compelling. We start to focus on that question. We start to evaluate, we start to think things through, and again, we start looking at all the things that we're not doing, and we get really caught up. And what has happened is that question has generated more thought. Period, full stop. It hasn't moved you forward in any way, only further into your thinking, only further into that space, that overthinking space where we are churning around, and it looks like the thoughts that we're having can look like they're helpful, like they can look like they're somehow moving you forward. I call this, we're trying to do via thought. We're trying to get things done by thinking hard about them. And you and I both know that's actually not how things get done. You can't think your way into doing. We just try to do it all the time, but it never happens. It's never happened. It can't happen. And this is why this question is actually useful. Let me just tease the utility of this question out. If it's arising within you, if you're noticing this question of, am I doing enough? It is not a sign to evaluate all that you're doing. It is not a sign to really dive into thought and work it through and get more done, or motivate yourself, or stress yourself out, excuse me. It is a sign pointing to the fact that you're stuck in your head. Full stop. That's all it's doing. It's letting you know, oh, I'm trying to get things done by thinking hard about them. Got it. Let me step back. It's really helping you shift into a fuller perspective rather than that limited, gosh, I'm only noticing what I'm not doing. Let me step back. Let me actually get a broader picture of what's really going on here. That's your cue. That's all that question is useful for. To just step back out of your head and notice really what's going on. And really what's so cool about this is, as you step back and stop trying to move yourself forward from that real thinky place, you get to move forward from that calmer, quieter, more fuller perspective place. And it is just eons more productive and more effective. So don't take my word for it. Go out, experiment for yourself. More tips on this channel, so please feel free to subscribe, and take care until next time.